Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Jeffrey Lazarus, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls on the Gaming Vector. So, at the end of the last episode, I promised you we'd be headed directly towards a boss fight, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. However, I want to approach this boss from the other side, so we are going to go back to the Undead Parish bonfire, which, if you remember, is directly through the church. And once we get there, we're going to reverse hollowing, and do we need... we'll see if we need to kindle the bonfire. I'll probably just go ahead and do it anyway, because, as I stated in the last episode, it's just generally a useful place to have, considering there's a blacksmith literally right there. So as we come up to the top of the elevator, we can head straight through the church and go out the other side and take out the 3 hollows that are around the side entrance. And then we are going to talk a little bit about invading and summoning. Oh, why did I pick up the item? Oh, I knew it wasn't anything good. I knew it wasn't. Why did I do that? Alright, let's just get the backstab. That did a whole lot of damage. See, I have been playing another couple of characters concurrently with this one, just to make sure that I remember everything the way I think I do. And sometimes I don't end up doing as much damage with those characters, or possibly more damage, because I'm playing some different builds. I'm trying some different things. And I may actually show you some of those later in... It won't be a Let's Play Dark Souls episode, but it'll be kind of a side episode. It'll be kind of a special, I suppose. But in the meantime, we're going to head down to the bonfire down here. Now, we do already have our +5 Uchigatana. We do have the souls to level up, and we are only level 11. So, I'm going to focus primarily on vitality, endurance, and dexterity. Do I need to put dexterity to 15 yet? Yes, we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, confirm reinforcement. Now, we're going to reverse hollowing. Now, as I stated before, this turns us human. This allows us to summon other players. This also allows us to be invaded. I want to be human here so that I can summon help for the upcoming boss fight. However, this undead church that we're going to be at, and before I actually head kind of across the threshold into invasion territory, we're going to talk about this, but this undead church is kind of a prime place for really good players who have low-level characters that they've gone through enough of the game to be able to invade at will. This is a place that they kind of like to hang out and kind of grief new players. Now, I'm by no means a new player, but that doesn't mean that I can take them down when they've got fully upgraded weapons or fully upgraded armor. So what we're going to do here is, when we get to the top of the steps, hopefully there will be some summoning signs from other players. We'll be able to get 1 or 2 people in here to help us. Now, typically, most players that I have ever encountered when summoning... I'm not seeing any signs, this is not good. But most players that I've encountered while summoning have been very much the type of players who they feel that they're in your world, they don't get their rewards unless you win. So they're your bodyguard. They're there to keep you alive. And there you can see the summon signs. Now I'm actually going to take out this other hollow soldier first, and then I will run the church with whoever I summon up here. So by standing at the summon sign, you can see their gear, what weapons they're carrying, things like that. Touch the summon sign, you get their gamer tag, and then you can summon the phantom. Now you can summon 2 people to help you. There can be 4 people in a world at any given time. Oh, this guy... Oh, that guy was a sorcerer. Well, he had the right headgear to be a sorcerer anyway. So we're going to hang out here and try and summon some guys, and hopefully not get invaded. Knight, Grasscrest Shield. Is that a claymore? I think it's a broadsword, actually, but still. Oh, there's another sign over here. Now, we will have to wait for... Knight Shield. This guy... Either he really knows what he's doing, or he really doesn't. Those are kind of the options there. Now, this guy... You see that helmet? That's the gargoyle helm. That means that he's actually killed the gargoyles. So here we've got this guy. Now, we don't really have any way to communicate with him, aside from the gestures. So I'm going to go ahead and bow to him. Yes, thank you, kind sir. Now, we're going to hang out here and try and get one more summon. You know what? We'll get this guy. McDiggle 17. Provis Kid and McDiggle 17. Don't head into the church yet. That's a really bad idea. Oh, boy. Oh, well. So as you can see, he's actually at the top of the steps fighting an enemy. God bless it. Alright, so typically when you come up these steps, there's a Balder Knight waiting right here. And then around the corner up here, I can't believe this guy ran ahead of me. There's going to be a bunch of hollows. Really, dude? Why are you... Oh, my lord. I have the distinct feeling this is not going to work out in our favor. But as you can see, there's a whole bunch of hollows in here. And then there's this guy with the giant trident, who is a channeler. Now, he actually managed to take out the channeler for us, which is good. Unfortunately, I wasted an Estus flask. He died. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about this as I make my walk back out. The channeler. He has the ability to boost enemies that are around him. Hence why those hollows were actually a little tougher than they probably should have been. There's also about, I don't know, maybe a dozen hollows that rush you when you come into this room. So typically what I do is I step in here, back off, and head down the hallway and pick them off as they come closer. Also, there is the one Balder Knight. Now, as long as we're here, we're going to go ahead and take an Estus, and we will head on around the corner here. Also, you may have noticed that I actually used my Estus flask back there even though I was not hurt. That is because when you summon other players, they, without using humanity, don't have a way to heal themselves. So you have to heal them by using your Estus flask. Now, a good host will attempt to keep his summons alive, and vice versa. The summons will act as your bodyguards. They'll try and keep you from getting killed, because once again, they don't get rewards unless you do. Now, if we come around this corner here, we can break this barrel, and we should get a humanity from it. And then hopefully, I'm really, really hoping we don't get invaded here, but I'm going to come over here and break through these wooden planks, head up these stairs, and we will find an NPC up here who has been locked in a cell. So we're going to talk to him.
Human, are you? Then I am in luck. Could you help me? As you can see, I am stuck without recourse.
And we're going to let him out. That uses the mystery key. It can also be done using the master key, I believe. Now we will talk to this gentleman, and this is Lautrec of Karim.
Thank you. Yes, sincerely. I am Knight Lautrec of Karim. I truly appreciate this, and I guarantee a reward. Only later.
So coming up here and getting him is something that you definitely want to do while you're in the church, because there's a couple of possible outcomes from having him released. So now what we're going to do, I still have 8 Estus flasks, so I'm not too worried about refilling those. I'm going to grab a couple items while we're up here, because I believe there's also another, soul consumable. Now, since most of the enemies are dead, large soul of a nameless soldier. Since most of the enemies are dead, we actually have a free run at the boss now. So right now it's just a matter of making the decision, do I want the 2 extra Estus, or do I want the free run to the boss? And I think I'll take the free run to the boss, in all honesty. So we're going to head back over here and hopefully get some more summons. Hopefully somebody that's not quite... Okay, so you see the helmet this guy's wearing? That is the gargoyle helm. What that tells me... of course the sign disappeared. But what that tells me is that he's already defeated the gargoyles because it's one of their random drops. So when you see somebody with that helmet on waiting to fight the gargoyles, they've already beaten them. So they know, at least to some degree, what they're doing. So we will summon this gentleman here. Is he... It looks like he may be a sorcerer of sorts. Looks as though he has a catalyst in his hand. And then over here... Is that the... I believe that is the washing pole katana. So we're going to try and summon these two guys. Now, assuming you're playing online, you can summon phantoms like this. If you are not playing online, there are some NPC phantoms that you can get your hands on. And I will show you where their summoning signs are normally located, assuming I don't actually have to summon them to manage to take out these bosses, because I'm not having any luck getting people in here. At least not ones that are, familiar with what they're supposed to be doing. That guy running off ahead was just a real bad idea. Oh, is this that same guy again? Yes, it is. No, I'm not summoning you again. Sorry, you only get one chance with me, friend. And that is... Oh, that's just a message. Okay. But as you can see, this is kind of summoning sign central here. Oh, we've got a cleric still in the starting gear as well. That's an interesting choice. What do we have over here? I really didn't want to spend this long trying to get summons for the boss battle, so if these ones don't work out... I should probably heal. If these ones don't work out, I may just go and grab the NPC summon and try and do this by myself with just an AI. It's really not the way I would want to do it. And even if I get one guy, I may go and summon the AI. Just have that basically extra target. Summoning failed. Summoning failed. Oh, alright. We'll try summoning you one more time. And if this one doesn't go through, then we're just going to go ahead and make our way up to the boss battle. It is rather unfortunate that we can't seem to get any actual help. Summoning failed. Well, let's go ahead and make our way to the boss arena then. Now, you see these fog walls are up. That means that either someone is still trying to be summoned, or someone is trying to invade me. I hope it is the former and not the latter, because if we get invaded, I actually know where the invader comes from, and it's right by the boss door. Literally about 3 steps outside of it. So we'll head up here. Yep, summoning failed. Alright. Head up here, head up the ladder, and we'll have one more ladder to make our way up. And at the top, Interesting. Normally there is a summon sign here for Knight Solaire, the gentleman who gave us the white sign soapstone. This does not bode well. Alright, well, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and try and solo this. Now, if we had summons, this would be much, much easier, but apparently I can't get any today. So, we are going to be fighting the Bell Gargoyles. Now, once again, we're given time before the boss fight starts. So, I suggest you make your way to the center of the roof. If you have summons, let them get into whatever position they want. You don't have much way to communicate with each other. So, you just have to kind of figure out through gestures and whatnot. Because once you start to make your way across the roof, we will see the gargoyles come in for the attack. And hopefully, I can do this solo. Although, to be perfectly honest, I kind of doubt it. And if for some reason I am unable to pull this off, then what you might get at this point in the video will be a death montage until I finally beat these guys. Now, big theme of the game here. If you notice, his tail looks like an axe. That is because his tail is an axe. what that means is that he can attack with it, but what it also means is that with the correct amount of damage... Oh, don't hit me. Don't hit me! I said don't hit me, you piece of crap. With the correct amount of damage, we can actually cut his tail off. Oh, we're doing a fair amount of damage to this guy. So, oh boy. I just ate the halberd to the face. Yeah, there he goes swinging the axe. Let's get our health back up. Oh, that was fruitless. We got to be very careful not to fall off of the roof here. Hit him with a fireball. That didn't do as much damage as I had hoped it would, but still not bad. We're just going to circle around this guy and try... I want to get that tail off of him, not because I want the weapon. So we're going to break the lock and just go directly at the tail. Whoa, oh boy, uh-oh. Oh, this does not bode well. Drink up, drink up. And you can see the second one has now joined the fight. And he's going to spit fire everywhere. So now, this is why I typically like to have a summon here. Is he can grab one of their attention while I fight the other one, or vice versa. Oh, get away, get away, get away. I need to down one of these guys. And I need to do it, like, now. Oh, wow, lots of fire. So typically, if you have a summon with you, oh boy, you can use the slope of the roof to protect yourself from the fire a bit. Alright, let's get a fireball on this guy. Oh, I missed. Get a fireball on him. Alright, that's one down. Good, we're doing better. That was a really terrible time to throw a fireball. Come on. Alright, so we're out of fireballs. We're going to be relying on our weapon. We're down to 2 Estus flasks. Oh, no! Alright, so as you can see, we actually got a summon. Now, if you remember the last time we had one, his phantom was white. This player is orange, and that is because he is a member of the Warriors of Sunlight Covenant. If you remember the bridge with the Hellkite Wyvern and the bonfire underneath the Hellkite Wyvern, that is where you would actually join the Warriors of Sunlight Covenant. I don't really like his reckless fighting style of rushing this room, but nonetheless, it seems to have paid off for the most part. So there we can see we had to go ahead and heal him up, and we had to actually heal ourselves up too. Alright, let's head on up the stairs here and see if we can't take on the gargoyles with a little 2v2 action this time. Also, it would be really nice if Solaire's summon sign would show back up. Aha! Knight Solaire, aka the Sunbro. And there you see him / her doing the praise the sun gesture. And here comes Knight Solaire to join the fight. Yes. Alright. Now, the only problem is, this time when we go through the fog wall, the gargoyles are not going to be waiting for us. They're going to be ready to fight. You know what? My team's ready to go, fellas. Let's do this thing. Ah, there's the gargoyle tail axe for chopping off the tail. And with our combined strength, we've almost managed to cut him down before the second one even showed up. That's how you want this fight to go. Also, we got the helm. That's cool, too. And just wasted a fireball. Celebratory fireworks. Nicely done, gentlemen. Now, as you can see, we got Twin Humanities for winning the boss battle. We also got a Sunlight Medal. You get those for completing co-op with Warriors of Sunlight members. They're used to rank up within the Covenant. We're not going to be joining that Covenant with this character, because otherwise you're just going to be watching me do the same boss battles over and over. Now, unfortunately, that has taken way, way longer than I had expected it to. It always seems to be when I'm recording that multiplayer decides it wants to fail. So we're going to climb up this ladder here. and this will take us to the first of the 2 Bells of Awakening. So we will just climb up the ladder, and once at the top, we will pull this lever, and that will ring the bell. Now, we're going to head back down the ladder here. Typically, I'm sure a lot of people make this mistake, and I did it my first time as well. I just used a homeward bone from the top of the tower to head back down to the last bonfire I was at. And in doing so, you miss this gentleman.
Greetings. I am Oswald of Kareem, the pardon. Thou art a friend. For thee, a warm welcome. Cometh thou to confess, or to accuse? For indeed all sin is my domain.
So you can see that he, number one, has a gesture. One of the most popular ones, especially in PvP. Now, he allows you to abandon your covenant with no repercussions. He allows you to request absolution, which takes a number of your souls based upon your level and clears you of all sins, such as killing NPCs, which I have done, or such as abandoning covenants without doing so through him. Now, having sin means that you can be attacked by members of the Dark Moon Blade Covenant, which I will get to later on. But the simple fact of the matter is, if you need to get rid of your sin, if you need to reset a hostile NPC because you attacked him, this is the guy you come to. The last thing he has is his items for purchase. He has Purging Stones, which break curse. He has Indictments, which allows you to report people who have invaded you. He has the Homeward Bones, which are very useful. He also has the Book of the Guilty, which is useful if you are a Dark Moon Blade, so you can see the list of indicted players. He sells the Karmic Justice Miracle. He sells a Talisman, and this Talisman is special because it scales with intelligence, not faith. So this is good if you have like a sorcerer build that you want to mix some miracles into. This is the way you do that effectively. He also sells a handful of rings: the Blood Bite, Poison Bite, and Ring of Sacrifice. Blood Bite boosts bleeding resistance, Poison Bite boosts poison resistance, as you would expect.
Thou art welcome any time. It is only human to commit a sin.
Okay, so now that we have talked to him, learned the gesture, and we know where he is at, I'm just going to use a Homeward Bone, because I have 7 of them. Oh, I never used the Firekeeper Soul. Well, I'm going to use the Homeward Bone, return back to the bonfire, and in the next episode, after I've gone and kindled the bonfire, we will make our run at the next boss in my typical rotation. And I think it's the next boss a lot of people go after because it's really not terribly difficult. But for now, that will be the end of the episode. As always, I have been your host, Jeffrey Lazarus. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.